It's not something we often talk about as men, but we're going to talk about it today. There is a particular section of my shop where I feel unsafe. Stand by. Hey everybody, welcome back to RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations. I am James. You may or may not have known that we have procured a Syndey 20-inch bandsaw manufactured sometime in between 1905 and 1915. And like all cool things, it needs a little bit of maintenance to it. And the thing in particular that this needed is a new set of tires. And these do not slip on like your modern day counterparts. So we actually just bought some new tires and glue. By the way, that pile there, it's like 120 bucks. The tires are glued on, so when you chip the old nasty tires away, you then have to get rid of the old adhesive. And in this shot, you can see those four little plugs there. That's how they balance these old wheels. The side that's heavy, they just drill some holes out, and those are filled with wooden dowels. So then through the comedy that you have come to expect from RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations, I was eventually able to affixate the new tires around the wheel at the cost of possibly re-injuring an old hernia that I had. You glue it on with this contact cement, and it just gets everywhere. It's just horrible. And the stuff has got this snotty kind of a texture, like a, I don't know, like a toddler with a sinus infection. It's just disgusting. It gets everywhere. It takes forever to clean up. We get it on there, let it dry for the day. You may notice on the pulley, on the lower right-hand side of this picture, kind of a strange thing on one of those spokes, and that's what we call foreshadowing of the things that you are about to see. So, of course, in the midst of getting this reworked, I had to do some work to this make-do mount for this this old Beeline 1 horsepower motor that's the size of Massachusetts, and then we were able to get this thing plugged in and running, where we start to notice an issue. And you can just see from this, she's not a smooth runner. She's just wobbly, and she's not going to pass the nickel test. Now, the level of this table wouldn't do anything anyways, but there is a mighty vibration going through this unit. So we're kind of working with what we got. So what I was able to do was figure out a way to run that lower wheel with a hand sander to develop a very slight crown on top of that wheel. So we decided to pull the lower wheel off and install the top wheel on the bottom, since it's under power, so that we can then also get that crown, because you don't want to run flat tires on a bandsaw. And that is when I saw this. This machine is originally manufactured to run off of a line shaft system, you know, those big leather belts flying around in the air. And someone has adapted homemade wooden pulleys to fit on this. And the way that they fit these on here, I'm pretty sure that's a carriage bolt that has been driven into the pulley wheel and then gently persuaded with perhaps a giant 5-pound hammer to embrace one of the spokes on the wheel. There's another one on the opposite side. Here you can see me knocking the microphone around, but you can see there is a slight crown on that wheel, and this is that homemade pulley that we're having to deal with. Now, I'm not one to not stare death in the face, because that's what makes what we do so much fun. But there comes a point where even the ingenuity of the days gone by might need perhaps a bit of revision. Part of that is for safety, because I don't know about you, but I'm not real excited about depending on a couple of peened over carriage bolts separating me from, this whirling machine of death. That's one thing that I'm not excited about doing. The other thing is that the vibration. Wood it will absorb moisture, and it will change as the seasons change, and that could be part of the reason why it's so wobbly. I mean, I don't know who made this wheel. I don't know the skill of that person. The way that the motor and the wheel were mounted, I couldn't even get the two belts that came on that machine to line up. What I ended up doing was putting one belt on the outside of a wheel and another, and then it going to the inside of the pulley wheel. So, I can't run two belts like this. I'm having to run like that. All of which doesn't make me the happy. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a better way to do this. I'm going to take off that wooden two belt pulley system. That will expose the original line shaft wheel. We're going to pull that wheel off, and we're going to find a replacement pulley wheel to go. Who keeps messaging me? Someone probably wanting to talk to me about my extended vehicle warranty, I'm sure. So, and in the process of that, I found this nifty cool thing. Let me hit a couple of buttons here, and we will. I have found this sight, which has probably changed the exposure and maybe made me look pale and sallow. So this is over at Blocklayer.com. I have no affiliation with them. This is just a little tool that I found on the interwebs. And it allows us to input what we currently have at the bandsaw and then figure out where we want to be. I want to be somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 surface feet per minute on the blade. That's where woodworking lives. If we're doing a metal cutting bandsaw, you're in the 40 to, silly low, 40 to like 400 type of range. But this is going to be a woodworking bandsaw. So let's see. The first thing that we're going to want to do is we currently have a 2.5 inch motor pulley, and that is driving an approximate 9-inch pulley. My motor RPM is listed on my Beeline motor at 1750. Those pulley centers are at 18.5 inches. My blade wheels are 32 inches between centers, and those are 20-inch wheels. So if we hit the calculate, that's telling us that we're close. We're at 25-45 surface feet per minute, and this blade wheel is going to be spinning at 486 ripms. So if we can get whatever size wheel we want. So what happens if we go to an 8-inch wheel? Okay, now we're at 28. Let's go to 7-inch wheel. Okay, let's go to a 6-inch wheel. What does that get us? Oh, we're getting closer. Let's go to a 5-inch wheel. Yeah, that's a little too speedy for me. Let's go back up to a 6-inch wheel. That puts me at 38.18. So that's in between my wanted, 3,000 to 4,000 surface feet per minute. So Now what we have to do is we have to find a 6-inch pulley, and these are V-groove. If we refer back to the photo, it's a V-groove belt configuration. So we've got to find a 6-inch pulley. The other thing we have to find is, will it fit onto the shaft that I currently have? The shaft I have, I mean, I put a caliper on it, and it was at like 892 thou, which is not a normal fraction. So what we're going to have to do is, once we get this apart, we'll get a better read on what that shaft diameter is. And if we have to, we will order a 6-inch pulley with an undersized shaft hole, and then we'll just chuck it up on the lathe at school and embiggen the hole to get it to the size that we need it to be. So anyways, that's the update on the early 1900s Syndey 20-inch bandsaw that has been fighting us tooth and nail. And that's kind of what you expect. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, anything kind to say, be sure to put it in the comments down beneath the sermon notes. If you find this entertaining or informative, or perhaps a mix of both, be sure to give us a thumbs up if you think we've earned it. Consider subscribing so that you'll know the next time that I find out something needs a massive amount of work that I was not prepared nor qualified to do. And then you can just laugh at it, because it's all about entertainment anyways, right? Anyways, I'm James. This is RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations. I will also be filming a guitar class video update here in a little bit. We're getting closer on that. We were setting the scale length for our Formica covered surf style guitar, hashtag not a Telecaster. And yeah, it's fun stuff. It's interesting to see the way that other people are doing things, because the way that we're determining the scale length on this is not the way that I have done it in the past. Anyways, I'm James. You guys have a great weekend. If I can do it, you guys can do it, because we all know I'm a knucklehead. Have a good weekend. Cheers. Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon here at RATTLECAN Guitar Restorations. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to click my beautiful face above. Hit the bell to be notified next time we drop a video. Here's a video that the Hive Mind has picked out especially for you. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. You guys have a great weekend. Shut up, cat. Cheers.